Baby, please, love, you don't really care. Music to you, but it goes like this. Before the fit, the miracle made you live. The powerful king composing, hallelujah, hallelujah. She tied you to the kitchen chair. She rolled your phone and control from your lips to you. Well, maybe there's never for all I've ever from love. I should somebody who was real. It's not a cry you hear at night. It's not someone who's in life. It's a call and it's a Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
Tommy Robinson. Hey, Tommy Robinson.
We're going to do it again, people, because we love that so much. It's so much fun. And this time you're going to sing along. Hallelujah. boy called Eccleston. Your dad's here, mate, with your sisters. Come on.
Get some stewards to get the family up. So get the dad out of me.
Oh, here he is. It's alright, he's here. Come on stage, man.
Come on, little man. Got a big man.
Welcome to the belly of the beast. Welcome to the place where they are betraying Brexit. Down there is Downing Street. Guess who lives at Downing Street? The Prime Minister, Mrs. May. Up there is Parliament, where they betray Brexit, and all around us is Whitehall, where they're betraying Brexit. So we meet here today to say no more. We want our country back. Stop betraying Brexit. Now the first thing we have is a man who's fought all his life, his political life, to get us out of the EU. He's written a book to get out of the EU, and it's well worth reading. He's also the man that earlier this year single-handedly saved UKIP from destruction. He'll hate me saying it, and he'll give me a good picking afterwards. I can introduce him, Gerard Bulldog Batten.
Hello everybody! It's great to see you all here. Thousands and thousands of people come out to say they want a real exit from the European Union. What do we say to all of those who say, you shouldn't do it, you mustn't go out, there might be trouble? Oh, you have little faith, look at this today. Now, what is the best definition of democracy that anyone has ever come up with? I think it was Abraham Lincoln when he said democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. Where do we live now? We live under a system which is government by the European Union, for the European Union, of the British people. We no longer live in a democracy. For 45 years there has been a cancer at the heart of our political life and our national life, and that has been membership of the European Union. In 1973 we joined the European Economic Community. We were lied to about its true nature. Over the years we have been lied to time and time again. And at the heart of the problem, there was always this issue. Are we going to be governed from Brussels, or are we going to be governed by our own democratically elected parliament and government? Well, that issue went unresolved as more and more power was transferred to Brussels. And meanwhile, throughout the decades, all the political parties continued to lie about the true nature of the European Union and what was really happening. 25 years ago, the the UK Independence Party was formed in order to use the democratic system to bring about change. UKIP's central aim was always to restore democratic government to the United Kingdom. We want to be governed under our own constitution, under our own laws, made by our own democratically elected parliament. And it was the UKIP electoral threat and nothing else that secured the referendum of 2016. And let's recall what David Cameron said about that referendum. Let me quote to you. Quote, "You, the British people, will decide. At that moment, you will hold the country's destiny in your hands. This is a huge decision for our country, perhaps the biggest we will make in our lifetimes, and it will be the final decision." Mr. Cameron concluded, quote, "When the British people speak, their voice will be respected, not ignored. If we vote to leave, then we will leave. There will not be another negotiation, there will not be another referendum." Mr. Cameron could not have put it plainer than that. But he was lying to us then, and we're being lied to again now. On the 23rd of June 2016, 17.4 million people voted to leave the European Union. And that was despite all the lies of the Remain side. Despite the political, media and international establishment campaigning for Remain, they still lost. The British people had seen to the heart of the problem and decided by a majority that they wanted to be governed by themselves and not from Brussels. But that gave the establishment a problem. They expected to Remain to win, and it didn't. They had to come up with a plan that enabled them to betray the referendum. The first step in that plan was to put a Remainer, Theresa May, in charge of the leaving process. The second step was for Mrs May to devise a plan with the European Commission whereby the whole process would be impeded and delayed for as long as possible, and then made to look so difficult that the Brexit referendum decision would eventually be overturned. The third step is where we are now. We have a withdrawal agreement with the worst possible terms, an agreement that neither satisfies leave or Remain. The fourth step, which is coming, will be to reverse the referendum decision completely. Where our political establishment is now. The whole elaborate charade of the last 2 years has been to demonstrate to us that it is just too difficult to leave and we have to remain inside the European Union. Next week, Parliament is likely to vote against Mrs May's deal. They may seek even worse terms for a new deal or find a way of reversing the decision of the referendum altogether. If Parliament does not take Britain out of the European Union, it will be the biggest constitutional crisis since the English Civil War. In 1642, the King put himself in opposition to the Parliament. Parliament won and the King lost his head. If Parliament betrays Brexit, they will be putting themselves in opposition to the people. And if they win, you lose your liberty. unity. My message and UKIP's message to Parliament is clear and simple. Dump the deal. And take Britain out of the European Union now. Process has been conducted on an entirely false basis, that we can only leave the European Union on the EU's terms. That is not true. I have said consistently for 25 years that the only way we'll leave is by means of unilateral and unconditional withdrawal. We must leave under our terms and not the European Union. This is what a patriotic government and Parliament would have done, and it will never be too late to do it. First, we must repeal the European Communities Act 1972. Then we have left under our law, not the EU's law. Having done that, chaos would not ensue because all EU law would stay in place anyway by means of acts of Parliament. But Parliament would then begin to repeal and amend those laws in accordance with our priorities and our timescales. We can offer the EU continued tariff-free trade, or they can have WTO terms. It's their choice, not ours, but if we don't give them that choice, they can't make it. We could offer a genuinely reciprocal deal on citizens' rights, a deal that actually guarantees our rights as UK citizens on the continent as much as we have guaranteed their rights over here. All remaining issues can be approached in an order of priority and in a spirit of friendly but firm cooperation. And it's in the interest of the European Union to reach an accommodation with us. A patriotic government that wanted to leave the European Union would not have asked the EU how it can do it, it would have told them how it's going to happen. What can we do to bring pressure to bear? The referendum was achieved by the UKIP electoral threat. The only way we will ever achieve a real exit from the European Union is to rebuild the UKIP electoral threat once again. We're here today because we believe in our country, its laws, our constitution and our democratic process. Conservative and Labour MPs were elected in 2017 on manifestos that said that they would honour the decision of the referendum. Now they intend to betray the referendum if they can get away with it. The most important thing to a politician is votes. Winning them and losing them. The political class will only pay attention when they start losing votes. Help us to take their votes away. I want to make UKIP bigger and stronger. I want UKIP to organise in every constituency and take votes away from the treacherous and treasonous political class. We need more members, more money, more organisation, more candidates. We believe in our country, we believe in our democracy. We're going to fight to restore our democratic freedoms by winning those votes at the ballot box. And I can't do that on my own. I need you and I need all the hundreds of thousands and millions of people up and down the country who want to leave the European Union to get behind us. I want you to join UKIP. I want you to play a part. Let me finish off. Our message today, plain and simple to Parliament, is dump the deal. Yeah! Brexit means exit. And exit means now, under our steam, not how the European Union tells us it can be done. Please help us and UKIP to make that happen. Now, I'll finish now. I promise I'll finish. Some of my colleagues tell me that I should be concentrating on Brexit, kind of overlooking the fact that that's exactly what I've been doing, while some of them have been lining their pockets in Brussels. Well, I'll tell you what I've done. Not even I'm concentrating on Brexit, but I've even got Tommy Robinson to talk about Brexit. That's an achievement, isn't it?
And now a complete stranger to you, I'm going to introduce him. What? Okay, we want you down here. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Gerard. What did he say? Dump the deal! Dump the deal! Brexit means exit. Okay, now I have a complete stranger to introduce to you. So I've got a long list of things I need to tell you about him. Actually, there's just one word, and it's this word, it's Tommy!
What a beautiful sight! Look at all these tattooed folks! First of all, what you've witnessed this week by the media and the establishment is fear. They fear this. They fear a movement that can be politicised across this country. I'm going to be honest as well. I don't want to seem like I am jumping on the Brexit bandwagon because I was not one of the main campaigners for Brexit. I diverted all my time and attention to the Islamisation of this nation. But the reality is, whilst we're governed by Brussels, all the problems that I speak about, all the problems that I raise, cannot be solved and cannot be sorted unless we govern our own country and we're not ruled by bureaucrats in Brussels. I also want to say a thank you. A thank you to UKIP. A thank you to Gerard Ban. A thank you to Nigel Farage. A thank you to everyone who fought, because many people, when I spoke to Gerard, 25 years of their lives dedicated to bringing us that referendum. They dedicated their lives, they worked tirelessly, and now they're being slandered and attacked, and even to the fear-mongering, the complete fear-mongering this week of violence at this demonstration, of riots, of fucks, and the reality is beautiful British people, the British public. And to be honest, up until this vote, I didn't believe in democracy. I never thought they'd let us leave. I'm still not sure they will let us leave, but I never thought that vote would go that way. And what that wakes you up, and I had a lot of time to think even when I was in prison, we can't be on the outside, we have to be involved. And that's what this is about, and that's what this needs to be about. And many people, I know that
Lord Pearson's here to talk today as well. What a legend. Do you know the entire establishment are against him? Same with Joe. You've seen many people resigning, many people quitting. And I hope that they see there was basic fear-mongering, just like us leaving. Complete fear-mongering. And if the government believe that they can get away, I said, would they? That they get away with ignoring the vote of 70.4 million people. What they need to know is that all of these people who have travelled here on a Sunday morning, 2 weeks before Christmas, these people are ready to campaign, they're ready to join, and they're ready to move to the streets whenever we can ask them to. And I keep hearing them talk about the economy. The economy, and fear-mongering about it. I think most people I know who voted, they didn't think of the economy. They thought more about their culture and their identity. And I did prepare a speech here, but to be honest, I'm going to leave the Brexit issues to the people who've been campaigning for 20 years and working tirelessly for it. And I think all of them, I think what you witnessed this week as well, the amount of pressure that must have been on Jared Batten this last week, and he's still standing here, that is a leader. I'll say a few more words at the end, but I'm going to hand you over here. And again, you know what, every single one of you that have travelled here, I want to say a personal thank you to every one of you that make events like this possible, to all of the stewards, to the police. We thank the police today as well, because they've been great as well. So thank everybody.
Thank you very much indeed, Tommy! Big hand down for Tommy! And you're going to hear some more from Gerald Batten and from Tommy Robinson before we close. But now, we're going to tackle the whole problem of mass open door immigration. It has been foisted upon us by the political masters all around us, and to help us through this one is Paul Oakley, who is UKIP spokesman on immigration. Paul, here we go. Give him a big hand.
What a joy it is to look out on this crowd. Look at this crowd. People of all ages, people from every economic background, health workers, teachers, servicemen. We have people here, brothers and sisters from the old Commonwealth, whose families came here generations ago. We have people here from the new Europe who have made this country their home. Every person here has one thing in common. They share the new consciousness which is emerging in the West. They share the new consciousness which is emerging in Europe, and it has nothing to do with loyalty to the European Union. Let me tell you that. It is December now. We are entering the coldest and darkest part of the year. And we are also entering one of the coldest and darkest parts of British politics of all time. Because this week, Tuesday this week, two things are going to happen. First of all, heads of state from around the globe are going to descend on Marrakesh to sign up to the Global Compact for safe, orderly and regular migration. In case you haven't heard, this declares migration to be a human right. It does not distinguish between legal and illegal immigration. It asks for a whole society approach to aid mass immigration. And here is the frightening bit. Governments will have to promote independent, objective and quality reporting and stop allocation of public funding or material support to media outlets that promote intolerance and other forms of discrimination towards migrants. The worry is that they are actually going to criminalise any criticism of mass migration. Countries that have pulled out already include Hungary, Poland, Bulgaria, Italy, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Austria, the Dominican Republic, Israel, Slovakia, Switzerland, the USA, and Australia. Some people like it though. It has been said, quote, migration is a global reality and it makes sense to have a global approach. Well, that came from the Immigration Minister of Canada under Justin Trudeau. His name is Ahmed Hassan. Oh, and Theresa May likes it as well. And on Tuesday, she's going to get up to even more wickedness, because she is going to be putting her so-called Brexit deal before Parliament. It's going to be voted down. And that was her plan all along, wasn't it? Because Theresa May voted Remain. And this woman is not stupid. Let us be clear, you simply do not become the Prime Minister of this country unless you possess deep cunning. She always intended to betray Brexit. And the risk is we're now going to get a second referendum. Tony Blair has said that if there is a second referendum, that will settle matters for once and for all. Oh no, it won't. We will never accept our continuing membership of the European Union. Let me tell you this, in times of national crisis, it is customary to refer back to the giants of our culture. Henry V, Horatio Nelson, Winston Churchill. And with this in mind, I say, beware, Ramonas, for our strength and our courage comes from the example of the Terminator. We can't be bargained with. We can't be reasoned with. We don't feel pity or remorse or fear. And we absolutely will not stop ever until we get hard Brexit. Thank you.
A big hand there for Paul Oakley. Okay. Don't worry, guys and girls, the army's here. It's Simon Bean. He's here talking about defence and the betrayal of our forces. Simon.
Hi guys. Maverick veteran here. I don't normally do politics, but I would sell my soul to stand, fight and protect Her Majesty the Queen and my country. I've got just 5 minutes to inform you that military unification is being carried out under the UK government agreeing to EU defence structures. PESCO being one of the acronyms. There are many more making up the EU MOD. Military union is an absolute single point EU command and control concept and system, and it will want to take over Her Majesty's armed forces. The government refuses to speak out about the military union, and policy is decided away from Parliament behind closed doors. However, we know it's going on, and I would like to publicly thank Major General Julian Thompson, CB, Royal Marines, Rear Admiral Roger Lane Knott, CB, Royal Navy, Brian Gerrish at UK Column, and my good friend David Ellis, Director Strategic Defence Initiatives UK, for exposing the government on this subject and guarantee my support in continuing the fight against military unification. It's time to get the lid off this issue and inform the people of this country of what's being discussed behind the closed doors. European military cooperation has been talked about since 1948, 1 year before the formation of NATO. 70 years later, it's become reality. Mrs May's government has committed us to full military union under the guise of security, and includes all the armed services. That's tri-service plus security services, including the SAS, MI5 and MI6. The union will be under a single point budget and a single point command and control. This isn't a partnership like that of NATO. It's a single point of control of everything in our inventory, from boots to nukes. It will give Eastern European landlocked countries access to our navy. It will give non-nuclear countries access to our nuclear arsenal. At present, when our armed forces are reviewed, reformed or rearmed, the MOD and its associated branches take care of the detail. However, under military union, armed forces reviews will be open to scrutiny and final word from the European command structure. If you're thinking this will never happen, let me say, it already is. Unification exists between the UK and Germany, and the UK
and France. Earlier this year, 3 para were on a joint EU exercise in Sarajevo, Bosnia-Herzegovina, displaying EU insignia on their uniforms, whilst a commanding officer saluted the EU flag, whilst the European anthem Ode to Joy was being played. The EU already subcontracts to NATO, disguising the fact military union is already in play. Similarly, the government doesn't want you to know that an EU joint headquarters is located at the Royal Naval Nuclear HQ at Northwood and is staffed by up to 100 EU personnel with a direct line of communication to Brussels. This JHQ was built by the Royal Navy to full NATO nuclear specification through direct funding, and there are 3 more of these JHQs in Potsdam, Paris and Greece. Each one of these HQs could trigger a full military operation on a pan-European basis with boots on the ground in under 24 hours. How safe do you feel now? If you truly believe in your country, your sovereignty, and want to continue sleeping in your beds in the knowledge that your armed forces are standing a post to keep you safe, you must bring this issue to your MP. Irrespective of what party they represent in your area, my advice is to broach the subject of military union on the MP's Twitter feed, which is open source and reduces the risk of deniability. Throughout history, a nation's strength is measured by its ability to defend itself, and this can only be achieved through autonomous command and control, the ability to keep the enemy guessing, and a pact with our allies that allows us to defend our own areas without interference, fear or favour. The only Brexit deal agreed by Mrs May's government is military unity, and the politicians have been whipped up and intimidating into saying nothing. We need Jared and his team to break the parliamentary silence. If you want your defence taxes to stay within the UK, if you want to protect British defence industry jobs for British people and prevent our defence industry being stripped down and sold off abroad, and you want the British Armed Forces to protect our islands, you must wake up and do your part to oppose military unity before our deceitful and morally corrupt government tosses us into the cauldron of full military unification.
We want our country back!
The price of such a folly as military union will be far more than the people of this country can afford to pay. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Stay safe.
Thank you very much indeed, Simon. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, well, you've had a lot of talk up here on the stage here. But I think it's time we heard from you. In fact, I've heard, a little bird has told me that Mrs. May and her husband may just be having a little quiet Sunday lunch round the corner. I think she needs to hear from us all, doesn't she? So let's tell them what Brexit means. Brexit means exit. Brexit means exit. Brexit means exit. Come on now. Can you hear us, Mrs. May? Can you hear us? Thank you very much indeed. Nice to see you exercise your lungs too. Okay, the next speaker we have is a well-known YouTuber, and like all of you, he is always politically incorrect, because we like to do that, don't we? And he likes to fight for free speech. It's Simon Rebecca, also known as Carl Benjamin. Give him a hand.
Thank you very much, everyone. Everything else was a bit serious, so I thought we'd take a few minutes to laugh at the woes of the European Union, if that's okay with you, chaps. It's not going brilliantly, is it? How's the Jupiterian presidency in France going, Mr. Macron? Good to see the yellow vests represented. You know, yesterday they had the European Commission barricaded by the police because of a revolt in Brussels. Very interesting times. So, I don't know whether they're paying attention, and I think they aim this to the communist remainers that are behind us. How are things going in Europe? How is the right-wing populist movement that you're breeding all across the continent going to affect the European Union? Are they looking at their poll results? Macron's Paris is in flames. This whole project looks like it's about to fall apart. I mean, what do they even think that we're staying in for? Like, they've got, what, hate speech laws that they want to extend to criticising mass immigration. What absolute nonsense this is. And that's just the start of the invasive bureaucracy that wants to come for every minuscule part of your life, because they won't leave you alone. And at every point they demand more sovereignty, and at every point the spineless conservatives seem to want to give it up. Because this is genuinely the problem that we're coming into. Who makes the decisions of your life? Is it the technocrats in Brussels, or is it you, the good people of this country? And have you looked at the people who would deign to rule over us from their ivory towers? Has anyone seen a picture of Guy Verhofstadt? Like, I don't want a bunch of socially illiterate bureaucrats telling me what I can and can't say to other people in my daily life. Like, I don't want to swear, but yeah, basically, effort. And the thing is, anyone who wants to protest this, where do we have to go? Like, I'm a liberal, I don't know where else to go. I can't go to the Tories because they're effectively the Labour Party. I can't go to Labour because they're full of communists. And I can't go to the Liberal Democrats because they're Remainers. So I'm Remainers and that. So where else have I got to go other than UKIP? It's the only place for us. I won't monopolise any more of your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Excellent. Very good. Nice short brief one. Okay. Now, you have to look at the next speaker. Okay. He once was a Tory. But he's seen the light. He's a member of UKIP in the Welsh Assembly. He's come all the way to Wales. Neil Hamilton, give him a big hand.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Pranham dau chi gyd, as we say in Wales. Well, this magnificent crowd is gathered here today to send to Mrs. May a very short, sharp message. And I'm looking for suggestions as to the message we might send to her. Keep it clean, keep it clean. Well, you've got to give Mrs. May one thing. She is a political genius. She has been able to do what I never thought anybody would be able to do. She's come back from Brussels with an even worse deal than being a member of the EU as we are now. So yes, we've got to dump the deal, but we've also got to dump her. And answers on a postcard, please, where that might be. Now, when Tommy Robinson finished up his speech earlier on, he said he was going to give way to those who had spent the last 25 years of their life to fighting the EU. Well, I know I don't look it, but I'm old enough to be able to say that I've spent the last 50 years fighting the EU. 51 actually, because I joined the Anti-Common Market League in 1967, before you were born. Well, I never thought actually we would get the referendum in my lifetime. But of course, it's not over yet, because the Remain establishment at all levels are doing their damnedest to reverse the results of the last one, because they will never accept the decision of the British people to do something that they don't want to do, which is stand up for the United Kingdom as a free, independent and sovereign nation. Because the people are ultimately sovereign. That's what democracy is all about. Well, Wales voted to leave the European Union as well in that referendum just over 2 years ago. And listen to the results in some of those old mining valley constituencies where the Labour Party has been used to weighing the votes rather than counting them in my lifetime. The Rhondda voted 54% to leave. Port Talbot 57%. Torvine 60%. Ebbw Vale 62%. Every one of those constituencies is represented by a Remainer Labour MP. Every single Labour member of the Welsh Assembly voted to remain. Every single Plaid Cymru Welsh Nationalist member voted to remain. The one Liberal Democrat who survived the last election voted to remain, and 7 out of the 12 Conservatives voted to remain. We've got 60 members in the Welsh Assembly, and only 11 of them voted to leave. This is a parliament which does not represent the people any more than that monument down the road does. And who pays the price most of all of Britain's membership of the European Union? It's the poor. It's those at the bottom of the income scale, those who've been left behind and are forgotten by the fat cats in their air-conditioned limousines and flying around the world to pointless talking shop conferences like Marrakesh and living the life of Riley at the rest of us. 23% of all the households in Wales live in fuel poverty, spending more than 10% of their income on keeping warm and keeping the lights on. Yet we have a Remainder establishment that insists on putting up the price of electricity with green taxes to pay for forests of useless windmills that are now littering and desecrating the hills of Wales. The Common Agricultural Policy is a massive scam that puts up food prices. The European Union has a tariff regime that puts up the price of clothes and shoes. And of course, we have unrestricted immigration that has pushed down wages, especially for those at the bottom of the income scale. So today we've got a Labour Party that believes in soaking not the rich, but soaking the poor. And they're doing this as agents of the bureaucracy in Brussels because the people who call the shots, take all the big decisions, are not elected by you and me, but they're put in place by fellow members of the globalist European establishment. Well, the game is up already, because populist movements are on the rise throughout Europe. Why is it that otherwise peaceful, law-abiding people are now setting Paris ablaze? It's because they're not represented by their president, who is the agent of a foreign power. As all the leaders of the political systems throughout Europe who support being members of the European Union are. And we are here today to tell them, your time is up!
Thank you very much indeed, Hamilton. Thank you. We've only got half an hour left, and we've got lots more to do. We've got more singing to happen. We've got Gerald is coming back on the end, and Tommy's coming back on the stage. But I've just heard from the Downing Street Cats. The last time you sent your message to Theresa May, she turned the volume up on her television set so she couldn't hear you. Can you believe that? So I think she would hear us again, hadn't she? Okay then, let's see Mrs. May down there, what she's telling or what she's doing at the moment. Let's hear it from her, from us. Brexit means exit! Brexit means exit! Brexit means exit! Brexit means exit! Are you listening, Mrs. May? Are you listening?
Brexit means exit! Brexit means exit!
You're on fine voice, thank you very much indeed. We might have another little call a little bit later just before we go home, shall we? Okay, the next speaker we have coming on board all the way from Northern Ireland is Robert Hill from UKIP. Robert, come on up here.
Thank you, folks. I just want to let you know, first of all, that Northern Ireland stands with you today as we face the most treacherous deal ever done to the UK. Thank you. If this disgraceful deal goes ahead, the UK as a whole will be trapped in the European customs area with no way of conducting external deals with the world's largest countries outside of the EU. But worse still, because of this deal, Northern Ireland will be farmed off into a different customs union, separated from the rest of our nation and our largest market by an economic border down the Irish Sea. Northern Ireland will be handcuffed to EU single market regulations, EU directives, EU customs and tax rules. Worse still, This abomination of a deal will leave us subject to the rulings of the European Court of Justice. It would create a democratic deficit where Northern Ireland would be subservient to EU laws. More lies surround this so-called backstop not being used, as it's claimed by the government that another better deal will eventually be in place before it's rolled out in 2020. Again, rubbish. The backstop that Mrs May has gifted the EU is so favourable, they'll simply sit back, laugh and wait for it to kick in. Why would they offer us a better deal when she has already given them everything they asked for? The sovereignty of the UK would be permanently damaged, and we would be paying £39 billion for the privilege. Now is the time to say enough is enough. I urge you all to write, email or phone your local MP today or tomorrow. Warn them that voting for this cowardly deal will be an unforgivable act of treason against the people of this country. The Conservatives have lost all credibility in the handling of this betrayal, and the champagne socialists of the Labour Party left the ordinary people behind many years ago. We need to leave now, and we need to have the guts, the determination and the integrity to face down the EU and wipe the smug grin from their faces. In any future negotiations, we need true patriots like Jared involved to ensure we get the deal we deserve as the 5th largest economy in the world. The United Kingdom should not be begging for scraps from the EU. We should be telling them how we are leaving, and then re-establish ourselves as a global power once again. That's what Gerard and UKIP have been calling for the last 25 years. But the truth is, the fight for the nation has never been more important than it is right now. It's time to send a loud and clear message to the EU, the Remainers and those who want to break up this great nation. Every part of the UK stands united. We believe in strong, independent and sovereign United Kingdom. We will not be divided. We are not for sale.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Okay, next we have another UKIP MEP. Gerald is a UKIP MEP, and we have another UKIP MEP, hot foot from his farm in Norfolk, Stuart Agnew. A big hand for Stuart.
Well, what an incredible experience for me. What an incredible experience for me. It's not working, why?
Third time! What an incredible experience for me. I've never spoken to so many people, and this gives me an opportunity to nail my colours to the mast. I want to salute the bravery of Gerard Batten, the bravery of Lord Pearson, and the bravery of Tommy Robinson. Many of my colleagues do not like me being here, and my response to them is to hell with you. But now I'm going to talk about farming. Many farmers are frightened of a no deal. They needn't be frightened of a no deal, because farmers across the Channel are even more frightened of a no deal. The Dutch vegetable producer wants our market. The French wine producer wants our market. The Spanish fruit producer wants our market. And they want their political masters to stop faffing about and organise a proper deal. Now, although we are supposed to be getting our farming policy back, we will not get it back whilst the EU has sovereignty over our environment policy, because the two go together. What do they do in the EU to make farming difficult? Regulation. And they are banning pesticides one by one. These are materials that have been approved by our own safety inspectors here. And every time this happens, it makes it more difficult to produce your food. And in the end, it gets so expensive, we give up. And you end up buying food from foreign farmers who use the methods that we are not allowed to use. Now, finally, there's another big scam. It's called man-made climate change. And farmers are supposed to be doing something about it. And they are told, you must reduce your CO2 output. Well, there's only there are two ways we can do that. We can either use glyphosate and grow GM crops, but the Green lobby hate glyphosate and GM crops even more than they hate carbon dioxide. So to reduce our CO2 emissions, we will have to reduce our tractor use, which means we will have to abandon some land. That means the food that land did produce will be produced by foreign farmers who have no problems with CO2. There's another gas called methane. It's emitted by our ruminants, our cows and our sheep. Our farmers are going to be expected to measure the methane that the cows produce. If you've ever tried it, it's very smelly. The only way that we can actually reduce the methane that they produce is to stop feeding them grass and to bring them inside and feed them corn and soybeans instead. Now, the Green lobby love to see cows outside eating grass. They can't have it both ways. So what can we do? Reduce the numbers of sheep and cows and make up the difference from foreign produced food who couldn't give a fart about methane. There's another greenhouse gas called water vapour. That's the cloud cover. Fortunately, the Green lobby aren't stupid enough to make sure it doesn't rain. So that leaves the last one, called nitrous oxide. How do farmers produce that? They produce it by growing leguminous crops like peas, beans and clover. Now, the Green lobby love leguminous crops, but they hate nitrous oxide, mainly because they got it muddled up with nitrous dioxide, so they are in a real Trump model. Now, finally, to finish up, the farmer himself can produce or reduce some nitrous oxide, because when he gets amorous around his wife, his lower body changes shape. You may have noticed. In order for that to happen, he first has to produce some nitrous oxide. So chaps, if you really want to save this planet, it's not just a matter of not doing any sex, you mustn't even think about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Stuart. Thank you very much. Very good indeed. Okay, we're coming towards the last bit. We've only got 15 minutes left, so I'm going to ask our last speakers to be very brief, because we need to have time for the national anthem at the end. And I would love to have another call to Theresa May, okay, so she can really hear us. But okay, the next speaker we have is Mike Shaw. Mike Shaw has been at sea all his life, one way or the other, been a fisher all his life. Mike Shaw.
Thank you. Hello, Brexiteers! I've been asked to speak about fishing, but it's been quite short. Two words sum up the treatment of the British fishing industry. They are utter betrayal. The British fishing industry has been kicked around, lied to and used as a political football since Ted Heath's sellout in 1971. Recently, in a blaze of headlines, the supposed arch-Brexiteer Michael Gove MP launched his latest effort to convince fishing communities that they could trust the government and not sell them out. The Environment Secretary claimed that the UK could reclaim its waters from EU control, limit the number of EU vessels coming into British waters, allow British lawmakers to adapt and repeal post-Brexit the disastrous common fisheries policy. Rules that should never have become UK law in the first place, except for the qualification that all the measures outlined in the bill are subject to the wider EU exit negotiations. Spin or lie? While Gove is sending his press releases and talking of reclaiming our waters, he is at the same time acting as May's lapdog in agreeing to honour the 2019 quotas decided at this year's December Council. Is that taking back control? British campaigners, two in the town where I live, June and Paul, have led the fight to have pulse fishing banned. I don't have time to talk about pulse fishing, but please go home and Google it. You will be horrified. MEPs have voted to outlaw electro-pulse fishing, but the EU could not care less for the democracy